What's up, guys? It's a train simulator video today. For some weird reason, train simulator is actually cooperating somewhat today. We're only on 2 trays of out-of-memory errors, but in light of Machine Rail releasing their Empire State Express bundle with the 999-440, thought I'd do a video of some of their earlier content with their early American 440. These are more akin to what we've seen from Smokebox with his 1800s models. Matter of fact, they go along pretty nicely with it, with his packs. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at those. Now, there are 2 separate versions available on Machine Rail's website. One is the American version, which you'll be able to use with Smokebox's stuff and on the Golden Spike route or wherever. But that'll be a Baldwin Locomotive Works model, as it was leaving Baltimore Locomotive Works. But so it'll be in the Baldwin lettering, Baldwin colors, number 5. And I believe there's only 1 locomotive in that pack. That's all that'll come with that pack. It's just the American 440. But there's also a separate pack, which I'm going to look at both. Yes, they are 2 separate packs, but I am going to look at both because I got them both at the same time. Because I do have Machine Rail's South American route that... Interesting. Well, floating sign. Sidetrack, squirrel. But, anywho, I do have Machine Rail's route that goes with a lot of their South American content, Brazilian content and such. So, the Dom Pedro route. So I picked this up to go with it. So we're going to look at both, because I do recommend picking up both of them. It's something unique for Train Simulator, and when it works, these are really cool. So yeah, we're going to take a peek at them. Now, I'm going to start with the South American version because I didn't make it drivable for the sake of trying to quickly put this stuff down and then load into the scenario without Train Simulator giving me an out-of-memory error, because Train Simulator is notorious for giving me out-of-memory errors with all of Machine Rail's content. I don't know why. Everybody else that I have seen that fiddles with Machine Rail stuff, it runs like a Swiss watch, but for me, if I get much more than this right here, the game will absolutely crash. So, is what it is. Anyway, so the South American locomotive, the first 2 things you're going to notice right off the bat that don't line up with an American design are buffers and our tender shed. I call it a shed. You can call it whatever you want. I'm calling it a shed. There's a little shed over the tender for the firemen for, rainy days or whatever. He's covered. And then we got buffers. Now, other than that, there's no real major difference between the 2. Actually, I guess I could have just backed this locomotive back down here so that we could just look at them side by side, but yeah, no real difference between the 2. And it is still a Baldwin model, so the base locomotive is going to be pretty much identical. If I remember right, the sounds are identical. You'll just get the buffer plates and the roof over the tender, and of course the Dom Pedro lettering and paint scheme. But in my opinion, what makes the South American pack a little more unique is the cars you get with it. Now, Machine Rail is not overly known for giving us matching cars with their locomotive packs until, like, obviously their latest, the New York Central 999. That one came with a full pack. And the Sierra 460, they did couple cars to go with it. But yeah, the South American pack comes with a full set of passenger cars to go with the locomotive on the route, the Dom Pedro route. Now, are these necessarily new ideas? No, these are going to look quite similar to the cars we see on the smoke box models, but they're pretty cool in the sense that they're a different region, a lesser modeled region. If you guys heard that, excuse my cat having a heart attack. She's a pain. But the real big difference between these and the American designs are obviously the buffers. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. Still the same Lincoln Penn couplers. Still the same basic Celestri and regular car. But you will get a dozen of these cars. They are unfortunately not dynamically numbered, so they do give you a bunch of individuals. I believe there's like 5 or 6 of this car and 2 of these and a baggage. But it's still pretty cool. They do have some really nicely modeled interiors. Now these are older. These are not they're not to the same level as, say, that New York Central pack, which I'll do a video on eventually whenever I can get it to run worth of flying a flip. TS problems, right? But yeah, it's not quite to the same level as the New York Central pack, but they are still really well done. For their age, they're really, really well done. I mean, we got our little water pot back here. Open coaches, nice upholstery, but even an interior to the baggage car. Not much, but it's something. Unfortunately, they do not have loaded and unloaded versions, so just empty cars. But again, really nice models overall. Now they are, like I said, they are older, so they don't have quite the touch of refinement that Machine Rail has now. So such as their nice polished brass going on here that compared to the New York Central, the New York pack that they just did, it's definitely shows the difference. It definitely shows how far they've come. I do think the pack could stand for a rework to their current standards, but I'm not going to nitpick at it. Like I said, they're still really well done for what they are. They're absolutely awesome. I love them. Like I said, when you get up on it, you see the difference in their new versus their older stuff. Matter of fact, I think they're reworking some of their older stuff. I hope they're reworking older stuff. I know they've got some stuff that I picked up a long while ago. I've been following Machine Rail for a hot minute, but I picked up some stuff a long while ago, like their narrow gauge items that they have taken out of their store that I really enjoy. I hope they bring those back. But yeah, really good looking cars. Really good looking cars. They do have animated valve gear, which is really nice. Sometimes the developers are bad about avoiding that, which hit or miss. I can see it on a locomotive that's like some of the British locomotives where the frame is pretty much covering the inside, so you really wouldn't see it. But some of these early American designs, big open underneath areas where it's blatantly obvious that stuff is missing, one can appreciate that they've gone to this level of detail down in here. But yeah, still really good looking locomotive. But let's hop down to the American version so that we can listen to it and fiddle around with it. So Baldwin Locomotive Works number 5. not terrible sounding brakes. You don't really hear them being applied, but you do hear them being released, which it's alright. Is what it is. For the most part, these locomotives do have a operational interior. I'm not going to say fully functioning. As I said, these are some of their older models, so these are absolutely harder to run inside the cab if you like to do that. Yeah. So the cab functions don't really work if you have the HUD overlay up. Now, if you get rid of the HUD overlay, it works just fine. But if you have the HUD overlay up, it won't work at all. But pretty good looking model. It does kind of irk me that it's just a glow. There's no real fire or anything, but their lighting and shadow effects are pretty nice. Really nice. Let's pull our HUD back up. Injectors. I think you can run the injectors, but I don't know how to get their stoking to work. So you open the firebox door, but nobody's throwing coal in. So running it by way of just sitting in the cab with no HUD, it's a little bit of a challenge. You end up jumping back and forth between the HUD so that you can use the firebox, but the doors and windows do open, but they're all one deal. So they all open and close at the same time. I mean, it's not terrible. Typically, if we're opening one, we're opening all. And it does translate outside, which is quite nice. Quite nice. Cannot open the roof hatch. No back windows. Yeah, that's about it. Still a really good looking locomotive. They're awesome headlights. I love Machine Rails headlights. They easily blow most of the other developers away. But the headlights are really nice. And I know the brakes don't translate outside, but I think the J-bar, no, the J-bar doesn't. So sad times. Like I said, it's one of their older models. So the J-bar doesn't translate outside, but sad times. Let's see. No, doesn't translate either. Oh well. Not a lot of external movement quite like their newer stuff has, but it's alright. So let's listen to our whistle. Not bad, not bad. The longer notes are definitely better, so you can do a short toot, but the ending note of the whistle is kind of abrupt. It's not a very smooth ending in my opinion, so it could stand to be polished. It's not a bad whistle sound. Not a bad whistle sound at all, but yeah, so it takes about a full second pull for it to play the full audio file. Otherwise, you get kind of that abrupt ending. But see how far away we can hear it. All right, let's come down to the end of the yard. Nope. Nope. Right about there. So no real sound occlusion. It just kind of, it has a set distance to where the sound is heard and where it's not. Can't hear it here. Can hear it here. So not frustrating, but definitely definitely could stand to be reworked. What's inside the cab? Sounds the same inside out. It's alright. Really decent sounding bell. Let's get it out on a load. Our switches are thrown here so we don't end up. It's not horrible. I do think the idle roll is a little bit loud. I hear that over the chuff noise even at the lower ends, but not bad though, not bad. See that animated valve here in there. It's pretty satisfying to watch. Overall, though, it's a really good looking locomotive. Idle noise, not half bad. Let's see if this thing takes a stop. Now I don't have any cars on it, so it should stop pretty quick, but not terrible. Not terrible. I don't know if the brake shoes do move in and out. Let's see. I don't know why the locomotive still shows that it's moving, but oh well. Yeah, brake shoes don't move in and out, so a little sad, but it's alright. We do have sandies, and they do blow sand. Nice little detail there. Yeah. That's about all there is to it. not bad. Not bad at all. So these will work with smoke boxes, freight cars, and passenger cars. They do have link and pin couplers, but this has been my experience with them, at least. If you try to couple them up when making a scenario, you will get an out-of-memory crash every single time. I have no idea why. I don't know what's going on with it, but that's been my experience. So now I've had success with placing the locomotive like just in front of the cars and then backing into them and manually hooking them up, but hooking them up together in the scenario has crashed the game every single time. So just a forewarning. And then I know with the 260 moguls, which I'll do a video on at some point, they don't crash the game. Instead, they just throw the locomotive across the map. I don't know why, but yeah, just my forewarning. Don't hook these together when placing them down in a scenario. Hook them up the hard way. Yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. Awesome. Just my experience, it has given me an out-of-memory crash every single time. So hence I don't have any cars with it right now. That, and for some dumb reason, mixing too much of smoke box stuff with machine rail stuff in one scenario has been notorious about giving me out-of-memory crashes. So there's my forewarning. But yeah, the machine rails Baldwin 440. Baldwin Locomotive Works 440, and their Brazilian counterpart, South American counterpart. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought I'd do a video on it. I hadn't seen any review videos for them, so I thought, hey, why not? Everybody else is doing the New York Central pack. Why not I do something different of the same idea? So I do have the New York Central pack. I'm going to hold off on doing a video for it for a little bit. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, I put my link down in the description. So it'll be Machine Rail website. These are still available. 2 separate packs. I have to forewarn this with all the Machine Rail stuff, but their prices are in Brazilian dollars. Before you guys hop in there and go, oh my god, these are $60 or whatever. They're not. There should be a little tab on their website that drops down and changes it to American, Euro, whatever. These are not $60. That's just the Brazilian currency exchange. I think they're like $10, $12 in American. But yeah, go pick them up. I will be doing more videos on their earlier stuff as time permits and as Railworks decides to work or not work. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed these. I think they're pretty cool. One of those locomotives I didn't know I needed since I had the smoke box stuff until I got it. And then I was like, oh wow, variety. So hope you guys like it. And that'll be it for today.